Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica from the scrapbooks of Adrian Freighter. In Jamaica, drug running is a common terminology. It is used to describe persons involved in drug smuggling. However, outside of that use, the words drugs and running are not usually tied together. But strangely, in September 1995, both words came together in a most hilarious way at the Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay. A police officer was allegedly caught trying to smuggle drugs through the airport, and when he was held, he evoked memory of the line in Ernie Smith's songs Duppy or Gunman when he mentioned, "Quarrie was a boy to me last night," as the police officer outsped all the security guards and the police, who chased him as he fled the airport building, jumped into a car and sped away. While it is true that there is nothing new and novel about a police officer being mixed up in drug runnings, especially against the background of recent situations such as the June 2020 story in which 3 police officers who were stationed at Granville Police Station in St. James were arrested on cocaine charges at 2 airports in the United States while they were supposed to be on duty back here in Jamaica. The 3 police officers, identified as Woman Constable Shermaine Latoya Gooden, Constable Jamar Graham, and Constable Trevani Davidson, were reportedly intercepted by agents from Drug Enforcement Administration (DEA) and Immigration and Customs Enforcement in Atlanta and Charlotte. However, it should be noted that unlike the police officer who sprinted away from his colleagues at the Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay, the Jamaica Constabulary Force has produced some outstanding athletes. Some have gone on to represent Jamaica with much distinction. Back in my time as a student at the William Nib High School in the 1970s, I remember police officer Alberga Steele, who was then based in Falmouth. He was one of the best 400-meter runners in Jamaica, and he also had the distinction of representing the country. And of recent vintage, there was the late Andrea Johnson, who rose to the rank of inspector during her time in the JCF. She was a fabulous sprinter who in her prime could easily have gone on to represent Jamaica. But back to the police officer who allegedly sprinted away from his colleagues at the Sangster International Airport and made good his escape before being subsequently caught. His story was one of those stories that was both serious and hilarious at the same time. In this edition of Lest You Forget, I will be revisiting that story from a story I wrote for the Star, which was published on September 8, 1995, under the headline, "Caught, Fleet-Footed Cop Captured and Suspended." The story read as follows. Derrick Smith, a policeman stationed at the Anchovy Police Station in St. James, and who was implicated in an alleged drug bust at the Sangster International Airport last Thursday, was on Wednesday removed from active duty and suspended indefinitely as investigations into the incident continued. According to police reports, Smith was about to board an outgoing American airline flight to Miami when a security guard observed suspicious-looking bulges in the region of his groin, legs, and abdomen. While being searched, Smith allegedly wrestled the security guard to the ground, grabbed his travel documents, which the guard had taken from him, and fled towards the exit of the terminal building. An alarm was raised, and officers stationed at the airport's police station, some of whom are familiar with Smith, joined in the chase. However, the fleet-footed cop managed to exit the building before he could be held, jump into his car, which was parked on the airport's compound, and sped away. Following intensive investigations by a detective from the Police Internal Affairs Division in Kingston, Smith was taken into custody on Tuesday while on guard duty at the Anchovy Police Station. He was promptly transported to Kingston, where he was questioned and then suspended. A police source familiar with the case told the Star that charges could be pressed against Smith as early as today as investigations are at an advanced stage. While we lost track of the case and could not say how it concluded, based on what happened at the airport that day and the kind of excitement it generated in and around Montego Bay, it was definitely one of those unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica. Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica from the scrapbooks of Adrian Freighter. Before you go, please remember to subscribe.